My beloved sisters in Islam, never let anyone make you feel that you are less, unworthy, or forgotten. Allah, the most merciful, did not create you by mistake. He chose you, yes you, for a purpose so beautiful that even the angels marvel at it. Every trial you face, every tear you shed, is seen by the one who created your heart. In a world that tries to measure your worth by appearance, by wealth or by status, remember, your true value is known only by Allah, and when Allah chooses someone, He prepares them for something greater than they can imagine. So today, let us remind ourselves, you are not less, you are chosen. My beloved sister, pause for a moment and think. Think deeply about the fact that you exist right now, in this exact moment of time, because the Lord of worlds willed it to be so. You are not an accident. You are not a product of coincidence. And you are certainly not the result of random chance. You are the creation of Allah, Al-Khaliq, the one who fashions with perfection, the one who never makes a mistake. When He created you, He knew your name before anyone else would ever hear it. He knew your face before you ever saw it in the mirror. He knew your struggles before you ever faced them, and He knew your strengths before you ever discovered them. He placed within you a soul, pure and honored, and entrusted you with the ability to worship Him, to remember Him, and to live a life that brings light to others. When Allah created you, He did not just create a body, He created a heart that beats with purpose, a mind capable of thought and reflection, and a spirit that can rise even when the world tries to push it down. You are the result of a decree written before the creation of the heavens and the earth. This alone should make you realize how special you are, because the King of Kings thought you were worth creating, worth sustaining, and worth guiding. Your life, no matter how small it may feel to you right now, is part of a divine plan that only Allah fully understands. And when you wake each morning, breathing the air He provides, walking on the earth He spread out, you are walking in the exact place He has chosen for you in His wisdom. Your existence is not without meaning. The fact that Allah gave you life means He sees potential in you that you may not see in yourself. You may have days when you feel lost, broken, or unseen by people, but never confuse that with being unseen by Allah. He is As-Sami, the all-hearing, who hears the cries you don't share with anyone. He is Al-Basir, the all-seeing, who sees the tears you wipe away quietly at night. He is Al-Latif, the most subtle, who guides you in ways you may never notice until later. Every breath you take is proof that He still wants you here, that your mission in this world is not over, that there is still something great you are meant to do. When you look at the creation around you, the mountains, the oceans, the stars, you see beauty and perfection, but do you realize that in the sight of Allah, your soul is more precious than all of this? You are given an honor that even the heavens and the earth were not given, the honor of carrying Iman, the honor of worshipping Allah by choice, the honor of being among those who can call upon it directly without an intermediary. This is not small. This is greatness. And when Allah created you as a woman, He did so with perfect knowledge of what that means for your life, your challenges, and your strengths. He placed in you compassion that can heal, patience that can endure, and resilience that can rise again and again after every hardship. These are not weaknesses. They are powers that change lives. They are qualities that build nations and raise generations. The Prophet Muhammad DFA himself acknowledged the immense value of women in Islam, teaching that paradise lies beneath the feet of the mother, honoring daughters as blessings, and treating his wives with love, respect, and dignity. These are not empty words. They are divine reminders that your worth is sacred. So the next time the world tries to tell you that you are less because of how you look, what you own, or what you have achieved, remember that your value was already decided before you were even born. Your worth comes from the one who made the sun and the moon, who commands the night and the day, who holds the entire universe in His control. yet still takes care of your needs, still answers your doers, still forgives your sins when you turn to him. That is the one who made you, and he does not make anything worthless. You may feel small in the eyes of people, but in the plan of Allah, you are part of something vast and beautiful. Every test you face, every difficulty you endure, is shaping you into the person Allah wants you to be. Nothing in your life is wasted. Even your mistakes, when you turn back to him, become lessons that bring you closer to him. You are chosen for this life, for this exact time, for the challenges and blessings that surround you. And when you realize this, you will understand that you are far more than the labels people put on you. You are a servant of Allah, honored, valued, and created with a purpose that reaches beyond this world into eternity. My dear sister, in a world drowning in noise, advertisements, opinions, and endless comparisons, it is so easy to forget where your true worth lies. From the moment you open your eyes each morning, society begins whispering and sometimes screaming in your ear about who you should be, what you should look like, and how much you should have. You are told your beauty must fit a certain mold. Your body must match certain measurements. Your clothing must follow the trends of the day. You are told your success is only real if it can be posted online and admired by strangers. But the reality, my beloved sister, is that your worth is not and will never be defined by these shallow standards. You are far more than the numbers on a scale, the labels on your clothes, or the followers on your social media. Your worth is not determined by a society that itself is confused about what truly matters. People will change their opinions like the wind changes direction. Today they may applaud you. Tomorrow they may ignore you. The day after they may criticize you. If you tie yourself, worth to their approval, you will live in a constant cycle of chasing validation and fearing rejection. Allah, however, never changes. His standard for your worth is not based on your wealth, your appearance, your popularity, or your status in the eyes of people. His standard is based on your taqwa, your God, consciousness, your sincerity, your closeness to him. You see, society measures you from the outside in, but Allah measures you from the inside out. The world will focus on your face, but Allah looks at your heart. The world will notice your possessions, but Allah notices your intentions. The world will see your achievements, but Allah sees your patience, your resilience, and the silent battles you fight in the depths of your soul. The Prophet Muhammad (DFA) reminded us that Allah does not look at your bodies or your forms, but he looks at your hearts and your deeds. What an honor it is to be judged by the one who is most just, most merciful, and most loving. When society tells you that you are not enough unless you conform to its trends, remember that trends expire, beauty fades, and material possessions come and go. But your worth in the sight of Allah is eternal. It is not tied to your youth or your beauty, not tied to your wealth or your status, but to your faith, your actions, and your sincerity. If you clothe yourself in modesty for his sake, if you speak words of kindness even when you are hurt, if you lower your gaze from what is forbidden, if you raise your hands in dua with a heart full of trust, then you are already among the most honored in his sight, even if the world never notices you. You must understand that the people who chase worldly approval will never feel content because they are building their self-worth on a foundation that constantly shifts. But when your worth is rooted in Allah's love, you will stand firm even when the world turns its back on you. This is why so many people with fame, beauty, and wealth still feel empty inside. They have gained the world but lost their connection with the one who created it. You, my sister, have the gift of knowing where real value comes from. Never let anyone reduce you to a number, a label, or an image. You are more than the sum of your physical features. You are a soul that Allah chose to carry a man. You are a servant of the Most High, walking the earth with the dignity of one who knows she is watched over, loved, and guided. Your existence is not a competition to outshine others. It is a journey to please the one who made you. When you focus on this, you free yourself from the exhausting game of measuring up to society's false scales. And when those moments come where you feel invisible in the eyes of people, remember that the one whose opinion matters most never loses sight of you. When you quietly help someone, Allah sees. When you forgive someone who wronged you, Allah knows. When you pray in the stillness of the night, while the world sleeps, Allah hears. These are the moments that raise your rank in His sight, moments that have nothing to do with how the world defines worth. So walk with confidence, not the arrogant confidence that comes from pride, but the serene confidence that comes from knowing that the Lord of the worlds values you beyond measure. Let the opinions of people fade into the background. Let their definitions of beauty and success lose their power over you. And let your heart hold fast to the truth that your worth is defined by the one who created you, the one who sustains you, and the one who will welcome you on the day of judgment, not because of how you looked, but because of how you lived. My dear sister, sometimes the storms in life come without warning. A day that begins in peace can end in tears. A season that feels full of blessings can suddenly be overshadowed by trials you never imagined facing. And in those moments, it is easy to wonder, why me? Why does it feel like the tests keep coming, one after another? Why does it seem that every time I stand up, life pushes me down again? But I want you to remember this truth. Every trial that touches you is not a sign of neglect from Allah. It is a sign of His deep care and attention for you. He is not punishing you without reason. He is not forgetting you. In fact, He is drawing you closer to Him through every hardship you face. When Allah loves someone, He refines them, shapes them, and polishes them like a jewel. And the process of polishing a jewel is not gentle. It involves pressure, friction, and patience. Just like a diamond does not shine in its raw form, your soul becomes its most beautiful self through the struggles that Allah places in your path. The Prophet Muhammad DFA told us that the people who are tested the most are the prophets, then those most like them, then those most like them. This means that trials are not a sign of low status with Allah. They are a sign that He is preparing you for something greater, elevating your rank and cleansing you of sins you might not even be aware of. Every tear that falls from your eyes is noticed by Him. Every pain you feel in your heart is known to Him. Every sleepless night you spend worrying or grieving is recorded, and nothing is lost with Allah. He is Shahid, the witness, who sees every hidden detail of your struggle. He is Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, who knows exactly how much you can bear and never burdens you beyond your capacity. When you are in the middle of a test, you may feel like it is breaking you, but in reality, it is making you. The same fire that melts wax hardens steel. The same trials that can crush a heart that is distant from Allah will strengthen a heart that is connected to Him. You see, my sister, the trials in your life are like divine invitations, opportunities to turn to Him with more sincerity than you might have during times of ease. Pain has a way of softening the heart, of stripping away the distractions of this world, of making you remember who is truly in control. In moments of hardship, the dua you make comes from the depths of your soul, raw and real, free from pretense. That is when your heart truly speaks to your Creator, and that is when His mercy descends in ways you might not immediately see. Some of the most beloved servants of Allah endured trials that would break most people. Maryam, peace be upon her, faced isolation, judgment, and immense hardship. Yet Allah raised her status above all women. Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh, lived under the roof of one of the most tyrannical men in history, yet her heart belonged to Allah alone, and she is remembered as one of the greatest women of faith. Even our beloved Prophet Muhammad DFA buried his children, faced betrayal, hunger, and loss, but each trial only brought him closer to Allah and made his example shine brighter for us. So when you face trials, instead of seeing them as evidence that Allah has abandoned you, see them as proof that He is still deeply involved in your life, guiding you, protecting you from things you cannot see, and purifying you for a future you cannot yet imagine. A life without tests may feel easier, but it would leave you spiritually stagnant. It is in the tests that your patience is proven, your trust is deepened, and your love for Allah becomes more than just words. It becomes action. The next time a trial arrives at your doorstep, instead of asking why me, try asking what is Allah teaching me through this. Maybe He is teaching you resilience. Maybe He is pulling you away from something harmful. Maybe He is redirecting you to something better. Or maybe He simply wants to hear your voice in dua, because He loves when you call upon Him. And when you reach the end of a hardship, you will often look back and realize that it was during those moments of pain that you grew the most. You may not have seen it then, but you will see it clearly later, that the trial was actually a gift in disguise, a doorway to blessings you could never have received otherwise. The path to Jannah is not paved with constant comfort. It is paved with patience, faith, and perseverance through hardship. So hold on to this truth, my dear sister. Your trials are not random. They are tailor-made for you by the one who knows you better than you know yourself. They are signs that you are being prepared, polished, and elevated. They are whispers from your Creator, calling you closer. And when you endure them with patience and faith, you will find yourself not weaker, but stronger, not lost, but closer to Him than ever before. My dear sister, in a world where everything is being sold and exposed, where the line between dignity and display is constantly blurred, there is a jewel you carry that no shop can sell, no trend can replace, and no critic can diminish: your modesty and dignity. These are treasures given to you by Allah, treasures that protect you, honor you, and elevate you far above the fleeting standards of society. They are not chains meant to restrict you. They are a crown meant to distinguish you. When Allah commands modesty, it is not to take away your beauty. It is to protect it from being reduced to something cheap, something everyone feels entitled to consume. Your beauty, my sister, is far more than skin deep. It is in the way you speak with kindness, the way you lower your gaze with humility, the way you carry yourself with grace, the way you protect what Allah has made precious. Modesty is not just in the way you dress. It is in your words, your actions, your intentions. It is a light that shines from the inside out, a shield that guards not only your honor, but also your heart. The world may tempt you to display yourself for validation, but every time you choose to cover yourself for Allah's sake, you are making a powerful statement: my worth is not up for public approval. My beauty is entrusted to the one who created it. The standards of beauty in this world change like the wind. What is admired today will be forgotten tomorrow. Fashion will tell you one year that you must wear less to be attractive, and the next year it will tell you something completely different. But the standard set by Allah never changes, because it is not based on human desires. It is based on divine wisdom. The command to dress and act with modesty is not about hiding out of shame. It is about shining with dignity. It is about keeping what is sacred, sacred. Think about the most precious things in life. The Kaaba is covered, not exposed. Jewels are kept in safes, not thrown on the streets. Important letters are sealed, not left open for everyone to read. Your body, your heart, your soul, they are infinitely more valuable than any jewel or treasure. Modesty is the seal Allah has placed on you to protect that value. It is a sign that you belong to Him, not to the opinions or desires of strangers. The beauty of modesty is that it frees you from the exhausting cycle of seeking approval from people. You are no longer dressing, speaking, or acting to please the eyes of others. You are doing it to please the one who sees you always. And when you live for Allah's approval, You walk with a confidence that no insult can shake, no comparison can weaken, and no rejection can break. You no longer feel the need to compete with the filtered images and edited versions of beauty plastered across screens, because you know your worth is beyond the reach of a camera lens. Modesty is also a protection for your heart. It keeps your interactions pure, your intentions clean, and your relationships based on respect rather than attraction. It is a filter that keeps out those who only wish to take from you, and allows in those who value you for who you truly are. When someone approaches you with respect because of the way you carry yourself, they are seeing a reflection of your faith. And when you carry yourself with dignity, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of respect and self-worth in a world that desperately needs it. Some may mock you for your modesty, call you old-fashioned, or tell you that you are missing out. But remember, the path to Jannah is rarely the path applauded by the masses. The companions of the Prophet letter, FDFA, both men and women, were ridiculed by those who could not understand their devotion, yet they are the ones whose names are honored until today. Every time you choose modesty in the face of temptation, you are walking the same path of dignity that they walked. My dear sister, know that modesty and dignity are not signs of weakness, they are signs of strength. It takes courage to say no to the pressures of society. It takes strength to protect your honor when the world tells you to give it away. And it takes faith to remember that Allah's pleasure is worth more than any momentary approval from people. Hold tightly to this treasure, polish it with sincerity, and wear it with pride, not pride in yourself, but pride in the gift your Creator has given you. Because in the end, when all the trends fade, when beauty as the world defines it disappears, when every face ages and every body changes, what will remain is the light of your faith, the strength of your dignity, and the eternal reward of the one who commanded it. My dear sister, in a world that often tries to erase the honor and value of women, you must never forget that your place in the Qur'an and Sunnah is one of dignity, respect, and divine recognition. Long before any modern movement spoke about the rights of women, Allah revealed verses that uplifted you, protected you, and gave you a status that no man, no society, no culture could ever take away. You are mentioned in the words of the Creator of the heavens and the earth, and your example has been immortalized through the stories of the greatest women in history, women whose names are remembered not for their appearance or wealth, but for their faith, their courage, and their unwavering trust in Allah. When Allah speaks in the Qur'an about believers, He addresses men and women side by side, equal in reward, equal in responsibility, and equal in their ability to attain the highest ranks in paradise. In Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah says, "Indeed, the Muslim men and Muslim women, the believing men and believing women, the obedient men and obedient women, the truthful men and truthful women, the patient men and patient women, the humble men and humble women, Allah has prepared for them forgiveness and a great reward." Your place in this ayah is not an afterthought. It is clear, deliberate, and repeated, showing that Allah never forgets you, never diminishes you, never leaves you out. In the Sunnah, the Prophet Muhammad F.D.F.A. honored women in ways that broke the oppressive customs of his time. In a society where daughters were seen as a burden, he declared that raising daughters with kindness would be a path to Jannah. In a culture where women's voices were silenced, he listened to them, advised them, and sought their counsel. When the Qur'an was being revealed, women were not merely bystanders, they were teachers, narrators, and preservers of knowledge. Aisha Ra, the beloved wife of the Prophet F.D.F.A., became one of the greatest scholars in the history of Islam, teaching men and women alike, and her narrations continue to guide the Ummah until today. Allah honored Maryam, peace be upon her, in a way that no other woman has been honored by dedicating an entire chapter of the Qur'an to her, and declaring that she was chosen above all women of her time. Her story is not just one of miraculous birth, it is a story of purity, patience, and unwavering faith in the face of hardship and slander. Asiya Ra, the wife of Pharaoh, lived in the palace of a tyrant yet kept her heart connected to Allah, praying for a home in paradise as the waves of oppression surrounded her. Khadija Ra, the first wife of the Prophet letter F. DFA, was a successful businesswoman, a supporter of the truth, and the first to believe in the message of Islam. Her strength, wisdom and love gave comfort to the messenger of Allah letter F. DFA when the entire world turned against him. These are not distant stories meant only for history books. They are reminders to you, my sister, that your worth is not determined by the false measures of this world. Your worth is in your iman, your character, your service to Allah and His creation. You are part of a legacy of women who shaped the Ummah with their faith, who stood firm when others wavered, who sacrificed comfort for the sake of truth, and whose names are honored by Allah Himself. Islam has given you rights that are not dependent on any man's generosity. You have the right to own property, to earn, to be educated, to choose, to inherit, and to be treated with kindness and respect. Your body, your honor, your wealth, these are protected by divine law. If someone wrongs you, Allah has given you the right to seek justice. If someone oppresses you, Allah hears your cries. If someone belittles you, know that your value in His sight is not reduced by their ignorance. Never allow cultural misunderstandings or the actions of those who do not follow the true teachings of Islam to make you believe that your faith diminishes you. Islam came to remove oppression, not to justify it. The Qur'an is filled with verses that remind you of your place, and the Sunnah is filled with examples of women who walked with dignity, strength, and piety. If the Creator of the universe has honored you, why lower yourself for the fleeting approval of people? If Allah has mentioned you in His eternal words, why seek validation from a world that forgets its own heroes overnight? My sister, the honor you have in the Qur'an and Sunnah is not something you need to fight for. It has already been given to you. Your task is to live in a way that reflects it, to walk with the humility of one who knows she is honored by her Lord, to serve with the sincerity of one who knows her reward is with Allah, and to protect the dignity that has been placed upon you. You are not less. You are part of an unbroken chain of believing women who carried the light of faith across generations, and that light is now in your hands. Protect it, live by it, and pass it on to those who will come after you, so they too will know that they are honored in the words of Allah and the teachings of His messenger letter F. DFA. My dear sister, one of the greatest thieves of happiness, peace, and gratitude is the habit of comparing yourself to others. It creeps into the heart quietly, sometimes without you even realizing it, and begins to plant seeds of dissatisfaction. You see someone with what you think is a more beautiful face, a better home, a happier family, more wealth, or more opportunities, and you start to feel as though what you have is not enough. But this is a dangerous trap, because comparison blinds you to the countless blessings Allah has already given you, and it makes you measure your worth with the wrong scale. Allah has written a unique story for every single soul. No two people have the same path, the same tests, or the same timeline. What you see in someone's life is only the chapter they are currently in, not the whole book. You might be comparing your behind, the scenes to their highlight reel, your struggles to their moments of ease, your private pain to their public smile. And in doing so, you forget that Allah has given you blessings they might be longing for, and tests they might not have the strength to bear. The Qur'an reminds us not to stretch our eyes toward what others have been given. In Surah Toha, Allah says, Do not extend your eyes toward that by which we have given enjoyment to some of them, the splendor of worldly life by which we test them, and the provision of your Lord is better and more lasting. This ayah is a powerful reminder that what others have is not always a reward, it can be a test. Wealth, beauty, and status can be blessings, but they can also be burdens. You may be yearning for something that, if it were given to you, would harm your faith, break your peace, or take you away from Allah. When you constantly compare yourself to others, you begin to overlook the unique gifts Allah has placed in your own life. You forget the times He answered your du'as, the times He protected you from harm, the times He gave you exactly what you needed at the exact right moment. Gratitude and comparison cannot live in the same heart. When one grows, the other dies. If you want peace, you must nurture gratitude. Look at those who have less than you, not those who have more, because the Prophet they taught us that this is how you will truly appreciate what you have. Comparison also steals contentment by making you chase after things that were never meant for you. It makes you live according to someone else's standard of success, instead of focusing on what will bring you closer to Allah. You might start to dress like them, talk like them, spend like them, just to feel like you are enough, yet all along you were already enough in the sight of the one who created you. Your rizq, your blessings, your opportunities, they are all written for you, and nothing will reach you except what Allah has decreed. No one can take what is meant for you, and you cannot take what is meant for someone else. The moment you stop comparing and start appreciating, your heart will breathe again. You will stop feeling like you are always behind, always lacking, always less. You will realize that your journey is exactly as it is meant to be, and that every delay, every hardship, every blessing, every moment of joy is part of a plan designed perfectly for your soul. You will stop rushing to catch up to people who are not even running the same race as you. Instead, you will focus on your lane, your goals, your connection with Allah. My sister, remember that in the sight of Allah, success is not about having more. It is about being grateful for what you have, using it in the right way, and staying patient in the face of what you don't have. You may see someone's wealth, but not know their sleepless nights. You may see their beauty, but not know their insecurity. You may see their marriage, but not know the struggles behind closed doors. What you see is never the full picture, so do not rue in your peace over an illusion. Every time you feel comparison rising in your heart, remind yourself, Allah has chosen my life for me, and He knows what is best for me in ways I cannot yet see. Trust that He has withheld some things to protect you, delayed some things to prepare you, and given you exactly what you need for the stage you are in now. Replace comparison with dua. Ask Allah for what you desire, but also ask Him to make you deeply grateful for what you already have. Because the heart that is content with Allah's decree will always be richer than the one chasing what others have. My dear sister, you must understand that your role in the Ummah is not small, it is not secondary, and it is certainly not replaceable. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, created each soul with a specific place and purpose in this world, and your contribution is something no one else can offer. The shape of your life, the responsibilities you carry, the people you influence, and the acts of worship you perform, these are uniquely yours. You may look at the scholars, the public speakers, or the community leaders and think that they are the ones making the biggest impact, but know that in the sight of Allah, a quiet act done sincerely by you can outweigh the greatest public speeches. Your role in the Ummah might not be on a stage, but it may be in raising a child who will grow up to serve Allah. It might be in supporting your family with patience and love. It might be in teaching someone a verse of Qur'an, comforting a friend in distress, or praying for a stranger who doesn't even know your name. The Prophet Muhammad they taught us that the most beloved people to Allah are those who bring benefit to others. That means your role is not measured by fame or recognition. It is measured by the sincerity in your heart and the good you leave behind in this world. Every believer, man or woman, is like a brick in the structure of this Ummah. Take one brick away, and the structure weakens. You might think your brick is small, but without it, the wall is incomplete. If you fulfill your role with excellence, you strengthen the entire Ummah, even if you never see the full result of your effort. Sometimes you may feel unseen or unappreciated, but remember that Allah is Al-Basir, the all-seeing. He sees the good you do when no one else notices. He hears the du'as you make for others in secret. He knows the sacrifices you make for His sake, even if the world never applauds you. Look at the history of Islam, and you will see that women have played irreplaceable roles in its foundation and growth. Khadija Ra was the backbone of the Prophet letter FDFA in the earliest, most difficult days of the mission. Aisha Ra preserved and taught the sayings of the Prophet letter FDFA, guiding generations with her knowledge. Sulaim Ra sacrificed wealth and comfort for the sake of Allah, raising her children with iman and courage. Fatima Ra, the beloved daughter of the Prophet letter FDFA, embodied patience, modesty, and devotion. These women were not just part of the Ummah, they were pillars holding it up. And you, my sister, are the continuation of that legacy. You may not see your role as significant now, but the ripple effect of your actions could carry through generations. The child you teach today might become a leader tomorrow. The friend you help in hardship might inspire countless others with their renewed faith. The dua you make in the stillness of the night might change the course of someone's life without them ever knowing it came from you. This is the beauty of serving the Ummah. You don't need to be seen to be impactful, and you don't need recognition for your reward to be immense. Do not underestimate the power of your presence in the lives of others. Sometimes your role is to be the one who listens, the one who encourages, the one who prays for someone when they feel alone. Other times, your role is to stand firm in your faith and be an example of what it means to live for Allah. Both are equally valuable because they both bring light into the world. Your smile, your kindness, your patience in difficulty, all of these are forms of sadaqah that strengthen the bonds of this Ummah. My sister, the Ummah is like a body, and each believer is like a limb. If one limb is in pain, the whole body feels it. If one limb is strong, the whole body benefits. You are part of this living, breathing body, and without you fulfilling your role, something is missing. Allah chose you to exist in this time, in this place, among these people, for a reason. You are not a mistake in the Ummah's story. You are a sentence that must be written, a page that must be read, a light that must shine. So, step into your role with confidence, not arrogance. Serve with humility, not for praise. Remember that in the end, what matters is not how loudly the world applauds you, but how pleased Allah is with you. Because the smallest act done for His sake, even if no one ever sees it, is recorded in a book that will be opened on the day of judgment, and on that day you will see the true weight of your role. In the Ummah, my dear sister, being chosen by Allah is one of the greatest honors you can ever receive, but it is also one of the greatest responsibilities. When Allah chooses someone, He does not choose them for a life of constant ease and comfort. He chooses them for a life of purpose, tests, and elevation. Look at every prophet, every righteous person mentioned in the Qur'an. They were not chosen to live quietly without challenge. They were chosen to carry a mission, to stand firm when it was easier to give in, to hold on to truth when the world tried to silence it, to walk the path of patience when others ran toward shortcuts. And you, my sister, are no different. When Allah chooses you, it means He sees in you the strength to bear what others cannot bear, to endure what others would give up on, and to rise when others would stay on the ground. Being chosen means that your life may not look like everyone else's. While others may seem to live without hardship, you may face trial after trial. While others may take the easy path, you may be placed on a steep climb, but do not mistake this for neglect. This is the mark of Allah's special attention to you. Just like a teacher challenges the most capable students with the hardest questions, Allah challenges the believers He loves most with the deepest tests. And in those tests, He refines you, purifies you, and shapes you into someone worthy of a place close to Him in the hereafter. Every test you face as someone chosen by Allah is a step in your spiritual training. You may be tested with patience, tested with loss, tested with loneliness, tested with delays to your dreams. Each one is designed to polish your heart and detach it from the illusions of this world. You see, Allah does not want His chosen servants to settle for temporary happiness. He wants to prepare them for eternal joy. That preparation often comes in the form of hardship, because hardship is what forces the soul to look upward, to remember that its true home is not here but in Jannah. When you are chosen, you will also be tested with blessings. Yes, blessings can be tests too. Wealth, beauty, status, influence, these are all tools that can be used for good or wasted in distraction. If Allah gives you such blessings, He is watching how you use them. Will you share your wealth with those in need? Will you use your beauty in a way that pleases Him? Will you use your voice to speak truth? Will you remain humble when people praise you? Being chosen means that even your gifts come with responsibility, because they are not just for you. They are for the service of Allah's creation. Sometimes being chosen will feel heavy. You may look at others and think, why is their life easier? Why am I the one always being tested? But remember, my sister, that every time you respond to a test with patience, with trust in Allah, and with gratitude for the good that remains, your rank with Him rises. The angels write down your endurance, your tears, your quiet doers, your moments of restraint. Nothing is lost. Nothing goes unnoticed. The people of Jannah will one day look back on their hardest days and thank Allah for them, because they will see that those days were the reason they entered paradise. Being chosen also means you carry light for others. Sometimes Allah allows you to go through hardship so that you can guide someone else who will face the same thing later. Sometimes your story becomes the reason another sister finds hope again. Sometimes your patience becomes the reminder someone needs to return to Allah. The trials you face are not just for you, they are part of a bigger picture, one that will make sense when you stand before your Lord and see the ripple effect of your faith. My dear sister, being chosen is not always about achieving something the world will notice. It is about becoming someone Allah will love. It is about passing through the fire of trials and coming out purified. It is about holding on to the rope of Allah, even when it feels like the wind is trying to tear it from your hands. It is about trusting that the one who chose you will never abandon you, even when you cannot see the wisdom behind His choices. So, wear this honor with humility and courage. When the tests come, say to yourself, "This is because Allah has chosen me." When the blessings come, say to yourself, "This is because Allah has trusted me." And in both cases, remember that the goal is not this world, but the eternal meeting with the one who chose you in the first place. On that day, every hardship will be worth it, every tear will be rewarded, and every moment of patience will shine brighter than any jewel. Being chosen is not easy, but it is the greatest gift, because it means Allah has written you into His story of the believers forever. My dear sister, after everything we have spoken about, your worth, your honor, your trials, your purpose, remember this: you are not an accident, you are not a burden, and you are not less. You are a masterpiece of Allah's creation, designed with wisdom, infused with dignity, and wrapped in mercy. The world may try to define you by its shallow standards, but the one who fashioned you from nothing has already defined you in the most noble way. His servant, His believer, His chosen one. Every scar you carry, every tear you have shed, every night you have spent whispering your pain to your Lord, is part of a divine script written for you alone. These moments are not wasted. They are treasures that will shine for you on the day when nothing else will matter. And on that day, when the veil of this life is lifted, you will see how every moment of patience, every act of faith, every time you stood your ground against despair was building your eternal home. Do not let the whispers of doubt tell you that you are insignificant. Do not let the fleeting opinions of people make you question your value. Your value is written in the Qur'an. Your honor was established by the Prophet letter FD. Your worth is secured by the one who never forgets, never abandons, and never stops loving his servants. So walk forward with your head high, not in arrogance, but in gratitude. Carry your tests as a crown, because they are the marks of the ones Allah loves. Face the storms with the shield of dua, and step into each day knowing that your life is a journey toward the most merciful. And when you stumble, remember that the one who chose you also forgives you, lifts you, and guides you back to Him. This world will end, but the honor of being chosen by Allah will never fade. Hold on to it, live for it, protect it, and one day, when your feet cross the gates of Jannah, you will realize that every sacrifice, every trial, every test was not just worth it. It was the reason you made it home. You are not less, you are chosen, and chosen souls are destined for greatness with Allah.